Well, good morning everybody, welcome back to Shutters and Speed. You join me today on a ride out in the West Norfolk area, and I'm just trying out a new view with my second camera. We should be looking at the rear suspension working. I've chosen an especially sort of bumpy-ish West Norfolk B road to try this out on, because I'm going to have the suspension rejigged on this machine at some point in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I've decided that on these types of roads, even with the adjustments that I've made, that the ride is really not quite what I'd hoped for. And I've spoken to a chap out at Stowmarket Way who has done no end of work on bikes such as this by replacing the shock and rejigging the front forks and making a huge improvement, it seems. So although I have played around with the settings myself, I thought it would probably be a good idea maybe to spend a few pounds having it looked at by a suspension specialist, in the hope that the ride quality can be improved still further. I think when I first made the adjustments, everything seemed fine, and like everything in this world at the moment, whenever you find something that you like and you try it, it quickly becomes normal. And that's what I've found with this. I found that the settings I've made an initial improvement, but I'm still looking for more. And I know that from what I've read and viewed on YouTube, that the suspension can be upgraded quite easily on this, so that's what's going to happen. So today I'm just out for a ride to record the what happens with the rear shock. Hopefully the footage will be okay. If it is, obviously we'll be looking at it at some point to see what the rear shock does, and it'll be interesting to compare that with the new shock once that's fitted. So, but I wanted to get a lot of footage over different types of road so that I could show you the difference. So we'll see what happens. Now I'm on my way out to meet a good friend of mine who runs a haulage contracting firm. It's a bit of a last minute drop-in thing. I'm not even sure whether he's going to be there or not, but we'll see how it goes, and if he's there we may well have a little chat with him and see how we go. So keep tuned, and perhaps you'll join me later. I hope you're enjoying the Norfolk countryside again as much as I am. I have been out for a ride recently in the Lincolnshire area, which is a superb motorbiking area, but I think this is almost as good. The roads are actually, I have to say, this road has improved a lot. I haven't been along here for some time, and it doesn't seem quite so bumpy as it was from what I can remember. So, you know, everything was going quite nicely, and it really is a gorgeous day. Just passed on our left there the King's Head at Bircham. Spent a lot of time there in my younger days with all my friends from out this way, and had some great times here. So this is another one of those places that I'm driving through where it holds a lot of memories from my younger days. Going to be taking a right here. This is a bit of a tricky one, but we're okay, I think. Yep, here we go. Making my way through, or out the village of Bircham, towards Stanhope. Yeah, this road's a bit bumpy. This is the types of road where it's showing up the problems, if you like, that I'm having with the suspension on this. It's sort of just a little bit jiggly, and I'm looking for a more settled and more stable ride. So hopefully, after the modifications have been made, we shall notice a huge improvement. But it's still quite enjoyable driving through here, it really is. Trundling through these Norfolk villages. A bit naughty, going a bit quick. Now we're just going to be passing through the National Construction College site here at Bircham. It's on an old RAF base here, and a lot of the buildings, as you can see as we go through, are sort of very RAF-esque. But people come from all over the country here to train to be plant operators and anything to do with the construction industry. It was under threat of closure recently, and I'm not altogether certain whether it's still operating or not, but judging by those big cranes over there and a few cars dotted about, it looks as though it may well still be operating in some form. Maybe not to the capacity it once did, but I think you'll find that there is a bit going on, so that's quite pleasing, because obviously this was quite a big employer in the local area, and obviously if that went completely, then that would be quite noticeable, I think, for the local economy. Yeah, those are the sort of bumps that I hope will be smoothed out a bit with the modifications that are impending. Right, we're now coming up to my mate Stephen, see if he's about, and so that'll be it for now. I'll perhaps join you in a little while. Well, welcome back everybody. You've joined me back on the return route back home, and we're now going down a beautiful stretch of road. Downhill, twisty, combine harvester. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera back there, but that's busy reaping the harvest, and it's just a great day really. Still hoping to see how the rear suspension works on the way home. But this is a lovely part of the world, and I really have to sort of thank my lucky stars that I'm lucky enough to live in a county like Norfolk. Now coming back into the village of Bircham. Lovely little sort of Norfolk village with the old flint and cast stone cottages. Very traditional. Very windy, twisty road through here. What a lovely road this is, with the trees arching their way over the main road here. We're on the main road back on the A148 back towards King's Lynn. We'll be coming up to the Knights's roundabout very shortly. Then we'll be heading down the King's Lynn bypass towards the notorious Hardwick roundabout, which we'll negotiate hopefully very safely, then head on back down the A10 towards down to Market and home. So it's been quite a nice ride, and hopefully the footage that I'm looking for from the rear suspension will be very useful. It's a very warm day now. It's reading 31 degrees on the readout here, and you know, I am planning to do a few wildlife photography videos in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to keep up to date with everything that I'm up to, then obviously it would be great if you could click the subscribe button, and that will hopefully keep you up to date. On my left, as we come along this road here, if we took a left off this main road, you would go down towards a place called Roydon, and on the right along that road is Roydon Common, which is a renowned wildlife area. It's also renowned for, you know, heathland plants and so forth. You can now see most of it over there to my left. Hope the camera's picking that out. and a very, very sort of nice area. So maybe at some point in the future we'll make a video where we'll go along there and see what we can find. But we're now approaching the Knights's Hill roundabout, and then we'll be making our way back towards Hardwick and then down to Market and home. Traffic looks extremely heavy along here, so we might have to do a bit of filtering. Let's go down here. That's much safer. So as you can see, as we travel along the King's Lynn bypass here, all this traffic that's on my right heading away from us is all North Norfolk coast bound, I shouldn't wonder. So even on a Tuesday morning, things are still pretty busy. People are anxious to get to the coast, possibly on a warm day, having been in lockdown for so long. And they're obviously out to enjoy the weather, but the traffic is really quite heavy, as you can see. My word. A couple of motorcyclists trying to make their way through, thread the way through. Oh yeah. Great stuff. Not sure that's the way I would want to go, especially right now. I think I'd be looking for the old cross-country route. And here we are, the Hardwick roundabout. My word, look at this traffic to my right here, crikey. It is rammed. Phew. Still, never mind, we'll soon be off here, heading down the A10 towards Downham Market. That's a nice place to park, mate. Oh, dear. Copper. Paulus. Yeah, the old lorry's going my way. That's not good. We'll probably blast by him up here, perhaps. Well, we've made our way out of King's Lynn, now heading down the A10 towards Downham Market. As you can see, the traffic has eased somewhat. I've got this building supplier merchant's lorry in front of me, which has been behaving very erratically, so I'm giving him a fair wide berth. This is that crossroads there is quite notorious, so you have to watch that very carefully. And it's very difficult sometimes to get a good point to overtake vehicles such as this during the course of the working day along this road, but at least we're moving quite freely now, so that's quite good. So I think that just about wrapped it up for today. Well, he's turning off, just ease up a bit. We're going to lose him by natural wastage, so to speak. Yeah, so as I was saying, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. I've had a nice little ride out to Stanhope to meet my old friend Stephen. We have made our way back. I should be having a look at the footage from the rear camera that's looking down at my rear shock working and see what that's like. And it's all been a very pleasant sort of 2 or 3 hours ride out on the bike. So without further ado, this is Shutters and Speed signing off for now, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!